the Penguin?
The Penguin.
Wow.
The Penguin was. I can't believe how much I like that show. I'll even say I love that show.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was amazing.
What's your
Honestly,
language, son?
Never a dull moment, never a bad time. The show loves to zig when you think it zags, and I just was hooked the entire way through. Every episode was good. It has its things like it has its slow moments in the sense of like when it has to kind of give backstory, which I think in general is something that I always kind of roll my eyes at. But even the backstory segment of this show was very entertaining, and I was like, wow, was not expecting that. So,
right,
they do an amazing job of like, again, I hate always like mentioning it or comparing it to, but it's like The Sopranos, where he's being like, Tony Soprano is technically a bad person, but they want to make you root for him. It's the same thing here. Oswald is a piece of shit, but somehow he's the protagonist of the show.
Right.
And when you get too vested in him being the protagonist of the show, they know how to reel you back in and be like, no, but don't forget, he's the fucking Penguin. He's a piece of shit. So I think the show did that very well. And
cool.
I gotta say, like, all the supporting cast, Sofia Falcone, especially Kristen Milotti.
Yeah, you're high on her, eh? You and Darren are both high on her. Does she almost steal the show from Colin Farrell?
I would say they're very equal. Like, it's because Colin Farrell's impressive in other ways. She's impressive in a way where it's like, fuck, I don't trust you. I feel bad for you, but fuck you. It's
right.
Like, it's weird. She's so good at playing this psychotic like person that like you don't know if she still is a psycho, if she ever even was a psycho. It's insane. Because her backstory is all kinds of like, it's a giant puzzle piece that you eventually figure out. But you know what, man? If I had to give this a rating, 10 out of 10.
Whoa!
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
That's
like,
crazy.
No show is ever perfect, right? Like, this show obviously has its shit, but if I just want to like give it a grade, like,
that's incredible.
It is a 10 out of 10 to me.
Wow.
Like, there's no point in me saying it's a 9.5 because one episode had too much of a fucking it's a fucking masterpiece.
Right.
I think it's amazing. So I loved it, man. And this is coming from someone who I was always gonna watch it, but I was never super hyped about it. I was like, yeah, eventually I'll get to it. And then when I did, I was like, I'm pleasantly surprised that something, in 2024 can still take my breath away like that. Like, because I feel like sometimes you enter this slump with things where you're not super happy anymore with like maybe the video games you're playing, the movies you're watching, the shows you're watching. Nothing can ever like recapture the magic again, right? And I always have these weird thoughts, but this one did, and I was so happy it did. So it just made me more hyped. Darren said this last week, but it made me more hyped for Batman stuff in general. Like, I started watching the animated series again. Like, I'm on a Batman high again because of this show, and I'm really happy, and I'm looking forward to what they do next. Like, at first I thought the Arkham Asylum, I think they're doing an Arkham series or something next within this universe. At first I didn't care. Now it's like, okay, show me. I want to know. I gotta know
you're in.
I'm in. So yeah, big recommend for me.
I think anytime you can grab a character like Sofia Falcone and just sort of sway her between not even babyface or heel, but babyface or heel sort of tactics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it reminds me of is it the turtle and the scorpion? Anyways, like the scorpion needs to get from like one side of the water to the other, from like one beach to the other. So he trusts the turtle. The turtle's like, hey, I can get you across. And so but you got to promise not to bite me. And the scorpion's like, okay, fine, I promise. So the scorpion gets on top of the turtle and they set off in the water, and the scorpion bites him. Right. So then the turtle's dying and the scorpion's in the water drowning. And the turtle's like, why the hell did you do that? And the scorpion's like, because I'm a scorpion. What else was I going to do? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and it's kind of like, I'm going to definitely check out the story. I like I like little things like that where a character will do something. You're like, oh, see, not such a bad guy. And in the very next episode, they do something that's so horrible. No! Why?
It's fucked. It's fucked. There's so many instances. That last episode, like, I wanted to throw something at the TV with this motherfucker. Like, I was like,
I heard the last episode makes people go, it'll get the pulse going up.
Yeah, you get angry.
Right.
You get a little angry, man, because then it's like, you fuck. And then it's exactly what you said. You ask why? Well, he's the Penguin.
Because he's the Penguin, right?
He's the Penguin. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess that you're right. it's my fault for thinking any different, really.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I recommend it to anybody who's even remotely interested. Like, just go into it. It's fantastic.
That's cool. And is there going to be season 2?
I mean, Colin Farrell, all he said so far was, if people want it, it'll probably happen. And
right.
I guess at this point, people want it. So, yeah, I'm assuming. All he's really said is he signed on for Batman 2 and Batman 3. And he's let out that he has 5 or 6 scenes in the Batman 2.
Right.
So that's big news.
Yeah.
But maybe between Batman 2 and 3, we get a season 2? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we already know, but it says here, Reeves confirmed in July 2024 that Farrell will reprise his role as the Penguin in the film The Batman Part 2, which comes out in 2026, slated. After the season finale, Farrell said that for a while he didn't know if he would be appearing in Part 2 and had yet to see a script, stating, quote, I was told I have 5 or 6 scenes, unquote. He also revealed that he had signed on for the Batman films. After the season finale, Farrell stated that he would be open to starring in the second season of The Penguin, after previously stating, quote, I never want to put on that fucking suit and fucking head again, unquote, Farrell. Farrell, a method actor, has gone on record that he was in a mentally dark place during the production due to the dark story. Very similar to, rest in peace, Heath Ledger, excuse me. Reeves has also stated in a separate interview after the finale that a second season was possible and that was, quote, on the table, unquote. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's business, but it's also, I think, based on the success of this series, again, very similar to Sonic 1. They didn't know just how far out things would go. They knew that they were going to make this series and season 1, and they knew that they might tie it to a film of 5-6 scenes, right? Now it sounds like it could be more than 5-6 scenes, could be more than season 1, could be spilling into this other Arkham show that's coming out. So it's exciting. And look at Ryan. He's chomping at the bit there, rewatching anything Batman related. I think it's really cool. It's my favorite DC. He's your favorite DC superhero as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're eating well.
We're definitely eating well. It's funny you mentioned Batman 2. I saw that this weekend because we were going on a Christmas movie binge, and I was telling Tiff, like, Batman 2 is a Christmas movie.
Batman Returns?
Yeah, Batman Returns. That's what it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, we're watching Batman Returns. I don't care. So I put on Batman Returns.
When I watched Batman Returns as a kid, right, just to show you how, like, you know, even they nail things even to a fucking little kid like me at the time. That movie came out in 1992, I believe, so I was 9. And when that movie came out, at the beginning of that movie, you see the origin in that world of the Penguin. He kind of just gets put in this little basket and it goes down the river and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of baby faces him from the very beginning. Like, you really feel bad for him in a way, right? And he's like this decrepit sort of cripple, and he's shunned from the world. Yeah. It's just really, really brutal, but it's done in a way that is kind of, you see all sides, right?
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Exactly. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. She's the biggest baby face at the beginning of that movie, and then she gets, all this stuff happens to her at work, and she's getting taken advantage by the mayor, who's like a creep, and we see what happens to her. So when she finally snaps and turns into the Catwoman, it's almost like a baby face turn. It's like, yes, she's going to go out there and like do shit. Yeah. But unfortunately, she exists in a world where, you know, Batman's there, and Batman's got to, you know, keep everything on the straight and narrow. And Catwoman, she's got nothing against Batman. Her thing is completely with a different character. Yeah. But she gets on Batman's radar, and Batman's like, I can't have you do that. Get off the table.
Yeah, no, it's still such a good movie. I prefer the first one, but
right.
Yeah, the second one, they just made the Penguin so grotesque in that. Like, it's Danny DeVito did a great job with that.
He's incredible.
Amazing.
You know that scene where Michelle Pfeiffer breaks the 3 statues with that whip?
Yeah.
She did that in one take.
No way.
She did that in one take. There's a clip out there somewhere where she like snaps one, snaps the second one, snaps the third one. And then you hear the director say cut, and everybody starts clapping because like, how the hell did you do that? Because they were probably, but she might get 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and then we'll edit it together, right? No, dude, she went 3 for 3, and then she got the standing ovation.
Oh, that's sick. That's cool. I gotta find that. Yeah. But Batman stuff is always good, man. We're on a Batman high right now.
I like it.
We're riding well. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcast for new episodes every week.